Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Chris Chan video. And we are on Twitter because it's been a very long time since I've last done this. And I'm just going to call this like Chris and Workaholism, or what he thinks this means, because this came out like just yesterday and this like really caught my attention. So we're just going to go through it. Hey y'all, I am drawing and writing today, so you might think he's going to be updating his Patreon. No, he isn't. But not, I'm the way y'all would typically expect. No, today I am venting, and all of you are going to hear me out as witnesses of Workaholics Anonymous comic. What, do we really have to listen to him? But, whatever. And this, after I am done with all this writing, I would like. And it's a picture of Chris going, I am Chris Chan and I am a workaholic. And people just immediately just go, hi, Chris. There are a few problems with this, and I'll go over them later. And also, by the way, Chris managed to find out a way to stop people from replying to him, despite the fact that we will get to this shortly later, and we're going to find out the few problems with this, and not to mention, among other things, this doesn't mean people are going to stop talking about it. So basically just quoting from people, including Dr. Wolf, although he adds brass polish as he likes, and just still hashtags Dr. Wolf, so he still doesn't know how to, include people. And the crew to put some of all of these into video form. Honest, direct, and even funny at times. I will personally record and upload voice clips for the dub videos. I consider this a formal request if all of you would kindly accommodate me. Please and thank you all. So what Chris is basically doing is that he wants to take part in this, and he wants to take part in something he has no affiliation or association with, and just wants to drag some people along for the ride with him, as opposed to just emailing Dr. Wolf or those people directly, even though I don't think Dr. Wolf at least doesn't have a Twitter or something like that, or it's something like that. And yes, there will not only be a few fourth wall breaking moments. I am a hard-working goddess. It's part of what I do at times, and of course a lot of digressing. More than actual working, that's all I'm going to say. But then again, yes, I'll say it now, I digress. Motherfucker, Chris, you do not need to say this every single time. We know, this is what you do. By the way, in case you're wondering why I don't have the mic in front of me, I naturally project my voice when I speak aloud, meaning you scream. And yeah, you would find the speakers plus my voice not easy to bear and endure. You got that right. Here, the first of a good bunch of Workaholic Anonymous comics sets. I'm sorry for roasting your fair's Jasper Pie. Well, why But hey, with that pizza order, your Uncle Fettuccine will stop calling you names. I do not know what this is in reference to, but okay. You are not a failure, you're awesome and inspiring. Heart, lightning, blue heart, lightning. And let's just see what this is. For those of you all who are not aware of where I am a goddess, a literal deity. I was always this way, yet my life growing up I was not consciously aware. So Chris displaying a very strong sense of lack of humbleness from the word go. My situation was comparable to lightning bliss. My body consciously is still learning and figure out its abilities and powers. You're nearly 40, Chris. You might want to consider speeding up the process. My brain is under involuntary, constant, basic meditation, and from my body in Universe 1218, writing this comic at the moment. Whilst your house is starting to basically sink to the ground, for all I know, I astral project and manifest myself into other universes, dimensions, and timelines. What about the one in the future where it shows you on the streets homeless, spouting garbage and drooling out of your mouth? Including, right now, into our universe, C197. Oh, it's a nice sunset outside. I wish I was looking at that instead. Enter our universe C-197's Equestria to be here. I know I am writing a lot. I have tons to say. Get over my lack of shorter one-liner sentences. So now he's just telling us to, well, in a phrase, get over learn to accept him or else. I'm gonna take that as a veiled threat. Anyway, deep breaths. My powers work most everywhere, including here. The ability to write poor grammar is nothing new for Chris. Zap. Oops, I'm sorry, Jasper. My fares and tuchus. I will restore your fares right now. And I'm buying everyone spinach mushroom pizzas plus 50% toppings for Jasper. Well, how is Chris's writing has gone from bad to worse. Chris has never at any point written anything coherent. Chris at no point has written anything compelling. All Chris has done is write himself into a hole. His art, like, this is it. Is it? Some of these I feel like are just very, very simple drawings of Sonichu, and these are not easy. These are not difficult to draw. I cannot believe. Always on the go, trying to heal and self-love, but always downloading from between universes, dimensions, and timelines. You try be psychic, like I and Nightstar Sonichu. There's more. Let's see. I am literally flying, Mach speed, running, and teleporting everywhere, which way and how. My hard work and efforts fighting villains, mending rips and tears in time and space, managing and working with everyone else to keep as many as possible safe. Alive and well during all of this and with the dimensional merge. It gets to be a headache with my body and I. That's because you're sick, Chris, in the head and everywhere else in your body. Please stop this. Over the past few weeks, after our brain finally got the message to list and burn its self-criticisms and blockages list what we need for ourselves. Meaning that if there was any chance for anybody getting through to Chris, it's literally far too late. And me doing better at self-love with my body, our bond has grown stronger. Is that what you call it, Chris? But on the aspect of relaxing while looking deeper within ourselves. That is a lot easier said than done with us. 6-2-1 rule, we have that down, but here even while at rest. Or especially meditate beyond basic, going back to the job is nearly involuntary. I get force astral projected. I wish I could force something into Chris, but I don't particularly think he'll be too surprised and many people will not say the same thing. And my brain's downloading the news, visions and everything. It can get chaotic. Well, why not just watch the news instead? Or because... what's the point? Now, you might think to yourself, it's just Chris rambling about things he has absolutely no idea about in the real world. And this is where I would step in. However, we're not quite done. Because we scroll down a bit further, and you'll see the voice of salvation. We get through Pikachu or something like that. Just hang on, guys. He actually did start, coloring and doing pages again, so that's kind of nice. There is a bit more. I think it's like, it's not this, not this, not this. Oh yeah, because it was like his 20th anniversary or something. Where is it? I don't know. I'm gonna check on my to see whether or not he deleted it or not, because there is something I kind of like. Oh, maybe it's under tweets and replies. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. We'll get through that, and we eventually get to this guy called Kermai asking the question, can you really be a workaholic if you don't have a job? And that is, I think, a very, very valid and important question. And let's see what Chris's response is. What on earth do you think he's going to come out with? Bearing in mind, people can reply to this tweet, so let's see what you got, Chris. Hit us with your best shot. I do have a job, dipshit. It is literally called being a literal goddess, and protecting as many of your sorry hides from the casualties of the dimensional merge in progress. You are welcome, even though you are not as in-depth as I and a bunch of us are. So you might be thinking to yourself, literally at this point, Chris, well, it's one thing to be delusional. It's one thing to literally, he's looking down on people just because for people who have actual jobs. That's what he's doing. He's being a snob about this all. Grain of Salt response with, Christopher, get real. You've been lying about work to Casey, to Casey's father, to everyone until now. There's no merge, but alas, you won't receive your tugboat if you don't show craziness, will you? And, let's face it, the only energy you've got is for farting and cursing. And we get this gif of a clip from Friday. And people respond with, it's also not anonymous either, lol. Yeah. Show additional replies including, okay, how bad can this be? Nicolas Cage pointing with a cigarette, grain of salt. That's just whack, basically. So that's kind of like where I wanted to really end this. It's just kind of like a short story because about Chris confusing workaholism with delusions, craziness, and very simply put, well, basically just that. It's him confusing workaholism with, enabling and being a lolcow. And what's the other phrase I'm trying to think of? LARPing. He's confusing work with LARPing. And in case you haven't heard me say this somewhere before, ladies and gentlemen, I will say it now before we quit. I work 67 hours a week. When I'm not at work, I come home, I make videos, because it's all part of initiative. I work on my stuff, I take care of my stuff, I revise and write my stuff over again to make it better than before. Chris, I'm going to go on Patreon for it. I know this sounds like, 15 patrons, $105 a month. And in case you haven't gathered, he does absolutely nothing for this. Because where's the heart level? Where's the Wikipedia? Let's just go to the very beginning, because I know you guys are gonna expect this. 11 days since Chris made up a new escapist fantasy to cope with reality. That should be at 0 because he thinks that work is the same as LARPing. 809 days since the dimensional merge was to be complete, a coping mechanism Chris will believe in from his doubt and other life problems. 1,243 days since the call of the idea, guys, but you could see they are very much still in effect. Begging counter. 101 days since Chris last begged for money. 534 days since he last uploaded any pages to meet his paid obligations to the Solitude comic. That's just under 2 years of absolutely nothing, and he still gets paid money to do nothing. This is your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. You pay somebody to do absolutely nothing but make people look stupid on Twitter. But you know what? No amount of nonsense, craziness, shouting over the internet could possibly make me look stupid. I could say absolutely nothing and Chris would make himself look like an idiot in every way, shape or form. But let's face it, if you didn't know that at this point, you sure as hell do, because this is a thing that Chris has been doing for most of his life, and if he was never going to change before, why are we not surprised or even amazed that he would come out and do something this stupid? But anyway, that's that, and I will see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now. It's just a short little story about Chris thinking he can talk down to people who have actual jobs.